So I've got a bit of a question, ladies and gentlemen. Are snipers a little bit too good in Overwatch? And is Ashe, well, a little bit too good? Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel. I am Stylosa, and I'm once again joined by the magnificent Mr.
One amongst many, yes. I'm here. I'm like a big fan of snipers. I like my snipers. I like my snipers being strong. And we're going to be chatting all about them today. Of course, there's one sniper I don't like, so I can totally relate. But we'll get into that later.
Is this Hanzo? Because I like Hanzo. Is it Hanzo?
I hate Hanzo.
Oh my god.
I hate him so much. Probably for the reason that everybody hates Widowmaker, but I hate Hanzo for those reasons.
Right, okay, let me build the story. Let me build the situation, ladies and gentlemen. So, we've obviously got a lot of snipers in the game. I think we've got 4 now. Hanzo, I mean... whatever, we'll get on to Hanzo. But snipers, and let's talk about Widowmaker, I guess, to begin with. The quintessential Overwatch sniper. Now, here's a very simple question. Do you enjoy being killed by Widowmaker?
I do. Pick me,
okay.
But perhaps not for the reasons that everyone else does. No. Actually, get away from that. Alright. So, the thing with Widowmaker, right, and this is why I respect dying to a Widowmaker, is that she has hit the target. So, if I'm across the map and she blows my head off from, 200 meters away, it's like, oh my god, what a shot, that's amazing. Congratulations, you deserve that kill. Right, that's what kind of goes through my head. Of course, other things go through my head, like where is Diva? Where is Reinhardt? Why has Reinhardt dropped his barrier? But
okay, what happens if you're killed from the side? It's not like a straight up shot. You've just been killed because Widows, for some reason, has decided to flank your team and shot you in the head, and you're like, what?
That's on the Widowmaker, and she's put herself into a position where she can actually do that. That's good gameplay being rewarded. Surely she's found an opening to land this shot.
Let's be real, she's wildly overextended herself. She's flanking as Widowmaker, and she's probably going to die, so that's probably a good thing. But yeah, it's this notion of feeling robbed, or it feeling very bad when you die instantly to whatever the hell it might be in Overwatch, and typically that is dying to snipers. Now, I've noticed a lot of stuff going on in the community recently where people really do get a bit peed off when they get killed by a Widow, when they get killed by an Ashe, when they get killed by a Hanzo. Who's the other sniper?
Well, you could put McCree in there, or you could put Ana as well. Ana can shoot you from across the map. They're part of why I think people are we're getting this new wave of frustration, right? Ashe has come out, she's joined the roster, and now people are like, man, I'm just getting sniped from 60 meters away or from 50 meters away constantly, and that's really frustrating me. Part of why Ashe can be frustrating is that combo she has, right? Where if she lands a body shot on you and then hits you pretty close with the dynamite, you will suddenly get the burn damage as well. So it feels like you're getting this one-shot combo from a good distance away. Now, in my mind, there's a couple of things towards that, which is that the Ashe is landing shots, which in my mind should be fundamentally rewarded. It's a first-person shooter game at its heart, and also there's ways around that combo. Diva should be catching dynamite, right? If you're a Diva player and you see that dynamite sailing over, you got tons of time. That thing floats, so surely just catch the dynamite. Also, healers can keep you alive. Healers can sort of help you out with that. But people getting headshots and getting a headshot from across the map, when it's a hit scan sniper, I'm probably generally going to land on the side of, oh, well, that just kind of happened. I do understand, though, and we talked about this in the video that went out yesterday, that Ashe plus Mercy can feel a bit frustrating because she has 12 chances then to one-shot you, and it doesn't feel too punishing if she starts missing those.
Well, it's kind of we need to bring Hanzo into this situation. So I think, this is my opinion of that situation. So you get killed by a Widow. Widow is typically, it's a good shot of Widow. If it's a Widow versus Widow and you die to the Widow, then fair enough, hats off to that Widow. It's outplayed you, it's landed the shot. It's not randomly fired at you, then hit you. Okay, sometimes that might happen with a Widow, but generally you've got to be aiming in that direction. Then you look at Ashe. Ashe is the same as Widow. You've got to land the shot. So if you're getting hit repeatedly by an Ashe, it's very satisfying when you play Ashe. If you body shot somebody and then body shot them again and kill them, it's bang, bang, dead, bang, bang, or sometimes 3 times, bang, 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 dead. It's a really nice feeling because you're sort of hitting those consecutive shots and you're getting rewarded for it. The issue with Hanzo is when you get into a 1v1 with a Hanzo, even if this is in the middle of a fight and you're firing at the Hanzo, let's say you're playing McCree or something like that, or Soldier, Hanzo is just it feels like he's throwing his arrows at you and just hoping one hits you. And then when one hits you and you die because it's landed in your head, as they always seem to do, it feels really bad. And this again goes back to that age-old thing of the Blizzard devs going, well, it needs to feel good for the person doing the killing and the person being killed. Now, it's never going to feel good for you being killed, but you don't want to feel as if it's out of your control or it was a random element. And that's where I think Hanzo gets a lot of his bad sort of rep from. Of course, Hanzo's got storm arrows as well, which makes this even worse. But I think the general like overarching thing of, are snipers OP in Overwatch? I don't think they are, because I think there's a lot of ways to play around snipers, but what happens is, at almost every level on the ladder, teams are not coordinated enough to protect even their backline. Like, you talk about the D.Va eating the dynamite. Well, D.Va probably won't eat the dynamite most of the time from Ashe. You talk about Widow just killing people as they're, running around in the middle of a fight because they're not using barriers, because maybe the D.Va again isn't using defense matrix correctly. Maybe she isn't harassing the Widow. Maybe Winston isn't harassing the Widow. There's a lot of different options, a lot of different things that could be going on, which typically, because Overwatch is so disorganized, heroes like Widow and Doomfist as well fits into this category, can really have a lot of power. And I think Ashe as well. Like, I've really been enjoying playing Ashe. You guys are seeing all footage in the background here of me playing Ashe. I've really been enjoying this hero just because I feel like I'm really punishing the enemy team, because my aim is decent, and this is giving me the chance to quickly follow up like a secondary sniper shot much faster than I could do with Widow. So with Widow, I might not land the headshot straight away. I might tag them with a body shot, and then I might panic and then body shot them again, but with like a really low powered shot, and they get away. With Ashe, they don't get away, because I'm like, bang, bang, dead, bang, bang. It feels really nice.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things...
But it's skill, right?
Yeah, it's skill, but one of the things I'm seeing people say as well quite a lot, and I can kind of understand this, but to me, this is almost a good thing, is that sometimes games will feel like, and this happened all the time with the Widowmaker meta, and like Overwatch League was kind of typified by this, which is, who has the better Widowmaker? Okay, that team wins, right? There's a lot of that feeling in the game where if they have a better Ashe player, for example, they have you landing your 2 shots every single time, bang, bang, got him, bang, bang, got him, and their Ashe is picking the nose and not doing what needs to be done, then naturally one team can just completely snowball and completely take over, and it feels like, that Overwatch suddenly gains the carry role that exists in other sort of MOBA-esque games, for example.
What's always annoyed me with that is the simple answer is you just change your team comp and kill the Ashe. But that never happens. That literally never happens. Like, when you bring Overwatch League into the discussion, it's a bit different, because everyone's obviously playing at the highest level there, capable. Highly organized, and it is often distilled down into like very specific roles. So during the Widowmare, it was like, okay, the enemy team have got Carpe. Well, we lose, boys, because nobody's as good as Carpe.
Unless Birdring turns up.
Yeah, which is like, let's roll the dice. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. So that's not particularly that great. But for us mortals, the enemy can have a really good Widow, but you can deal with the Widow if you do certain things as a team. Again, it always comes back to the issue, as I'm choking to death because it's such a horrific point, is trying to work as a team in Overwatch is so difficult a lot of the time, and it can, and that gives way to a lot of frustrations, right? So then that gives way to like, we're losing because the enemy's got a better Widow than our Widow. Our Widow's terrible, so let's blame our Widow. But really, I'm playing Roadhog here, when really we should probably get a D.Va, and maybe I should try and do something about the Widow. Maybe just even jumping on top of her might disrupt her enough to allow our Widow to do something, because maybe the enemy's D.Va is doing that to our Widow, for example. So there's all these little things that go on. But anyway, let's bring us back to the discussion of snipers being OP. Are they OP?
I don't quite think so at the moment. I'm not of the belief, but then I will generally fall on the side of like, I think we're both hit scan DPS players, like when we go to DPS, so perhaps there might be some creeping bias in there, but I feel like if people are landing shots, they should be rewarded for landing those shots. Like, I don't see Ashe being hugely enough. Maybe the dynamite will get a tweak to it, but I think that just landing shots is a fundamental aspect of playing a first-person shooter. If they can hit shots and they can hit targets reliably, that should be rewarded, and then it's no surprise to see them winning. Same with McCree, same with Widowmaker, and even to some degree, the same with Hanzo as well. If he can sort of increase the chances he has in that lottery that he has of firing arrows, then hats off to him. He can do it. He can win 1v1s reliably. He knows how to do that. That's good game knowledge. That's good sort of game skill being applied, and suddenly then he's generating wins for his team. The issue that I sort of have myself is that culture that you highlighted before of like, oh well, the counter to a Widow is Widow and our Widow is losing, so what the hell are you doing, Widow, blah blah blah. But then maybe that is the answer, that the Widowmaker just needs to sort of accept their Widow's playing better than I am. I should swap off now that we're losing the game to something else to go Doomfist and then just like launch on people and kill them. Completely change up a playstyle and get away from what they're doing and winning with.
Yeah, that's a difficult one, though, because, I mean, I've been in games where I've been playing Widow against Widow, and the Widow's been killing me, but I don't swap Widow, because I'm like, no, I can beat this guy. You know what I mean? Like, so that players will go down that path of like, no, I can do it. Believe in me, guys, and then you might pop off at one point and actually do something. But for most of the game, you're just getting farmed, which is never great. I don't know. Like, I think saying something like, I mean, if anything is OP in Overwatch right now, it's probably barriers, because they're really good. If you work around barriers, then you don't die, ladies and gentlemen. You will not believe the amount of rage that it causes me when I watch like so this happened on Rialto, right? I've got to talk about this. This triggered me to no end. There's an Ana. And the Ana runs through my Reinhardt barrier. You know Rialto, the first corner, like we're on defense. It's the first corner as the payload is coming around the side. I'm there with Reinhardt. I'm blocking the payload, just, so it doesn't move, keeping it contested. Whatever. Ana ran through the barrier to nade the enemy team and obviously got killed. And I'm like, what? Why has Ana just done that? It's like, what's going... Well, in the voice comms, Ana, it's like, it's not actually an Ana player. It was a DPS player that was playing Ana because we needed a support. And was like, oh no, I was rushing forward. It's like, oh god. Roll select when. But anyway, yeah, that was frustrating as hell. But barriers are really good. So snipers can be countered a lot by using map geometry and using the barriers. But if the sniper is really, really good, and you've got really... I mean, you're saying snipers probably... We should expand this a little bit to McCree as well, and Soldier 76, and... You could probably put May in this category as well, because I've seen some May players do crazy stuff when they just land in that. You land that left click, it's ridiculous. In fact, it's like Hanzo May is really, isn't it, these days? It's unlucky.
Yep. There's no damage drop off.
No, and it's sickening ridiculous. When you die to it, and you're like, yeah, that's great, May. But I don't think they're OP. I think it rewards high skill. But the issue with Overwatch is, and you kind of touched on this a little bit, you said, well, it's an FPS game. So... if you've got good aim, it should reward you, right? But should it? This is the question. Because this is Overwatch. This isn't Counter-Strike. This isn't Battlefield or something where everybody's aiming at each other. No, there's a lot of things you can do in this game.
Well, the spectre that's sort of looming over this discussion, I'm sure someone's already typed it in the comments straight away the moment they saw the title, was... But everyone's just playing goats. Everyone's just playing triple tank, triple support. So surely snipers aren't overpowered. And that to me is sort of, it's the dichotomy, right? It's like, you can either have the very sort of MOBA feeling, very almost like World of Warcraft feeling, ability-based gameplay that goats provides, where everyone's very tanky. It's all about managing cooldowns and what abilities you're doing, choosing when to engage, when not to engage. Or you have the opposite meta, which is sort of the Widowmaker Mercy meta, where it's like precision shots, who can aim better, who can shoot better. And, the ideal Overwatch world exists somewhere in between, where both of those are options, but then you have tools to work around those options if necessary. You have tools where you can just go, well, we're getting decimated by a sniper here, so maybe we should just huddle behind Reinhardt's barrier, play a little bit tighter and closer with each other, and try and stop the sniper finding angles, and then punish the sniper once, say, Widowmaker has to run around to a corner, and then has to try and find a crossfire angle. And then you have ways of punishing her doing that, for example. Now, natural counters to snipers exists, Tracer exists, but then there's a hard counter in the game, so buy Tracer.
Well, I mean, the thing with tank comps is they deal with Widow in the same way they deal with Pharah, is that they just ignore them and they just rush in and kill everybody else, and then... well, those heroes are left on their own and they can't really win a 1v6, and that's ultimately the problem they get with that. But yeah, you're right. Like, why isn't everybody just playing goats on ladder? Well, it's ladder, right? So people want to play the heroes they want to play. I want to play Ashe right now because it's the new thing and I'm really enjoying playing the hero. So I don't want to go into a game and be forced to play, I don't know, Zarya or Reinhardt or something just to be part of a goats con, which is kind of a bit boring. Although, I will say this, ladies and gentlemen, if you do go in and play triple support, triple tank, and you just stay together and run onto the point, you'll probably win over 60% of your games easy. Because the enemy team will just be... they won't have anything in place to counter that at all, because they basically need to run the same comp to counter it, which they probably won't. And like Josh said, it is based on ability cooldown. So one of the little things I like with goats is the... like a little intricacy. This is going off on a bit of a tangent, but whatever, I'm committed. Is the use of Zarya bubbles. If you watch the Zarya bubble get used, and if you think, why has an enemy team just used that, or why has your team just used that? Maybe it was to prevent damage from, I don't know, a Reinhardt charge onto your Reinhardt, but suddenly that gives a window of opportunity to the other team that hasn't used the bubble. So there's all this going on. It's like, when do I get value for using my bubble? Your projected barrier, that is. Or should I hold on to it? Should I use it now? They've used their bubble. What does this mean we can do as a team? Can we push forward? It gets really cool when you watch it at the highest level. Anyway, that's going off on a bit of a tangent. I think the answer to the question, or the answer I'm going to give to the question, are snipers OP and is Ashe too good? I think snipers will always punish teams that are not working together. And it's very much the same with Doomfist, where and with Tracer, I guess, is in this. If the enemy team are all over the place, which, let's be real, guys, is a lot of competitive games. Very rarely will you get a game where the whole team is playing together in exactly the right positions. They're playing so good that they're not out of position. They're all calling out where the enemy Widow is, where the Ashe is or whatever. That never really happens. So there will always be opportunities in games for Widows and Ashes and Hanzos to have a massive impact. And we've all been in those games, right, where Hanzo just kills your whole team. I've got like horrific flashbacks to Hanamura. This is from some other day where the Hanzo just killed everybody. And it's like, well, how has this happened? Well, Hanzo's just playing, he's rolling the dice, he's firing his arrows where he should be firing them, and he's getting headshot after headshot, and everyone's dead, and it's like, oh, okay, that was annoying. But that's just one of those things, right?
And I would say, like, when that happens, you sort of go, oh my god, respect to that guy, and then you suddenly go, oh my god, I've got to be afraid of that guy, because he's really good, and if he's really good, and your DPS aren't quite as good as he is, then perhaps they should win. And that to me is where I think the disconnect happens, where it's like, it feels bad to get stomped by somebody. It really does. And when like a Widowmaker can take over the game, then she's playing out of her mind to do that. She's generally built up a skill to do that. And then she'll get into ranks, like she'll rank up and rank away from you, and then she'll get into ranks where that doesn't work anymore. Maybe the tanks are a little bit better at dealing with it. Maybe people are swapping off it. Maybe she's just running into other Widowmakers that are that good. In an ideal world, you should be able to use tools to deal with it, but you'd never be able to stop a Widowmaker that is good enough. Basically, like in my mind, it should be soft counter. So if the Widowmaker is good enough to juke your Winston constantly and still find shots, that needs rewarding. Otherwise, the Winston just sits on top of her and she just gets slowly Tesla cannon to death, for example. So I think snipers tend to reward skill, and I kind of fall on the side that don't feel too OP at the moment. But let's see a little while as well. Let's sort of give it a while. I also think that Ashe, she has a lot of damage drop off. So you're not getting shot from that far away, at least.
Well, yeah, I think it's not a simple, snipers are OP or they're not OP. I think what tends to happen is you get the feeling that they're really OP when a sniper really dominates your team because they kill everybody. And like Josh said, that's arguably when they're just playing out of their mind. And it might literally be the best game they've ever played in their life. And it's like, well, okay, everybody's dead to their Widow. And at that point, well, you kind of just have to go, well played, GG. I think I like to do is I type nice shot into the chat. If I get killed and it's like a really good shot, I'm like, oh, nice shot. And like sometimes I've got negative comments back off the team I'm in. They're like, why are you saying that? It's like, well, that was a good kill. It's like they're the enemy. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we've been Stylosa. Well, I've been Stylosa and he's been Josh. And let us know what you think about this in the comments below. Do you really think snipers are OP? And is Ashe too good? I mean, All right, guys. You can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming. You can click the bell so you get alerted to when videos go live on the wonderful channel. Also, you can follow Josh on
Twitter @1_amongst_many, or on Twitch as well, ESL_1_amongst_many. Just type in one amongst many, you'll probably find me.
Beautiful. All right, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.
Toodles.